Atlanti a vivere, Agartha a vivere, Shambhala a vivere, Lemuria a vivere. My friends, I wish to talk to you today about work. Because you know the Jews, I am also part Jew, very small part, 1/4 of me is Jew. The Jews, as I am also king in Israel, in Phoenicia, in Argos and in Creta, also in Cartagena. And Jews have a little bit of Lemurian civilization, a little bit of Atlantean civilization, and they are a mixed race. And maybe they represent what we try to achieve on this world. More of this later. A melange, a complete melange and union of culture without destroying those cultures. That is why I say Atlantia vivere, Agartha vivere, Shambhala vivere, Lemuria vivere, because I want all the civilization of this Dracona vivere, all the civilization of this world to live in peace. Many people here in Romania say, well, for your work we have to pay with 5 millions or 10 millions, 3 millions or 2 millions or 20 millions or something like the 2 houses, 3, 5, 3, 7 virgins, doesn't matter. And there are also other honest people who come from the lower classes who say, you haven't done anything. You don't deserve to be paid with anything because we can't see anything of your work. And they are usually right. This is the common sense of the common folk. The common sense of Alex Molinaș and the others. And the reason that you can't see any of my work is because it hasn't finished yet. The Jews say that we have a finite moments of time in our lives. We live finite lives. We don't live infinite lives. God has given us a finite number of moments, and we must spend those moments wisely, most of them. We spend those moments wisely when we work. But when we work doing something creatively, something in which we believe, not repeating our work over and over again and creating absolutely nothing. We spend these moments wisely when we sleep, but not oversleep. When we make love in order to produce children, but not make love in order to produce nothing. When we game in order to discover new things, but not when we repeat the same mistakes over and over and the same games over and over again and learn nothing in return. So many people waste their lives because they believe that their lives are infinite when in fact they are finite. And also the Protestants say that God will judge you for every lost moment in your life. So I believe that around 53% of my moments in life have been spent wisely and 47% unwisely. Which is more that I can say about, because most of the people spend 25% or 24% of less wisely. And that depends on your measure of work, depends on what you want to achieve. There are people who are working by the hour, like the grave diggers and other diggers who dig a grave or dig a trench and say, I have worked for you 3 hours or 4 hours or 20 hours, please pay me. They are paid by the hour. That is why I'm saddened to see that in young cultures like in America there is this slave civilization in which people are paid by the hour, and so they are required to do every hour the same repetitive small thing, and they have this slave mentality. I can see this same slave mentality in my father, who has emigrated there, who asked me, have you taken the money out of the bank? He sent me $400 now for my birthday. I say, no, I will go because 40 days. And he asked me over and over again because every hour is precious. It's precious there. There are people in Romania, the lower classes, the lowest of the lower classes, which are paid by the day. There are people who are beggars, who get drunk and live in the trenches and near the roads, and when they wake up without money they go and work for a full day of payment as construction workers, unqualified workers in civil engineering, and they are paid at the end of the day of work, and after that they usually get drunk, and when they wake up again they repeat the same cycle. There are people like the volunteers who are paid by the week of their work. They work for 1 week or 2 or 3 and they are paid. There are people, the most people in Romania who are paid every 2 weeks or twice per month in order to avoid them to spend their money unwisely. There are people who are paid once per month. They usually have larger salaries. Also, there are people who are paid by the year, at the end of the year. We have yearly salaries in UK, in America, and other places, but most people are paid by the hour, by the week, by the month. The only ones who are paid at the end of the year are the managers, people who require, yes, pay me with $2 million if I do that, if I don't do that, don't pay me anything. These are courageous people. But also we have other creators, the gods, like Michelangelo, who has worked for 25 years to build the Sistine Chapel. And people say, common people, also the Pope, what you have done, Michelangelo. We merely ask you to paint some saints on the walls, and we can't see anything. There is total darkness, and you are working there, and you haven't produced anything. Why do you get money? The same question that is asked of me also in Romania. Why do you receive 300 euros per month when you don't do anything? And Michelangelo always replied, my work is not yet done, there is nothing for you to see. When it will be finished, it will be seen for the whole world. And he was depicting the functioning of the human brain. When God and the human touch their fingers, there is a thought produced inside the brain. And the whole Sistine Chapel is like the brain who is functioning. And he worked at this opera for 25 or 26 years. And everyone was amazed at his work, but he remained poor. And he died shortly after the finishing of the Sistine Chapel. He died poorly. Also, we had writers like Mihai Eminescu in Romania, who has worked for a lot of time producing writings about past lives and poetry, and he was killed, poisoned with arsenic, because he was looking at a woman who belonged to a nobleman. And also he demanded that the name of the new country Romania shall be Dacia, like in the old text, while the Illuminati and the Templars wanted the name Romania in order to evoke the fact that we are coming from the Roman Empire and to establish a false connection with the Western world. That is why the Germans call us gypsies, because they know that the last Roman Empire was the Holy Roman Empire of German origins, which was dissolved around 1825. And so in 1850, 25 years later, we have decided us to call ourselves with a false name. So they have concluded, people in the West, that we Romanians or Dacians, we have no real history, and therefore we have no place on this earth. And he has not completed his work. But these people of Romania does not deserve Eminescu, because many people say, well, dear Mihai Eminescu, yes, continue to do your writings about your past lives, about how you were a pharaoh, about how we are stardust passing from form to form, but do this in French. Make all your writings in French and go to France, because in France people are more educated than in Romania. Here you will be killed. And unfortunately, yes, he was hit by a madman in the mad hospital. He was put in the mad hospital for suggesting that the name of the country should be Dacia, not Romania. And he lived from 34 years of age to 39 years of age, completely paralyzed, half paralyzed. And when he died, poisoned with arsenic every day because he looked at a woman who belonged to a nobleman, He was nearly 89 years old, judging by this face and by the degradation of his body. I was him, you know. So I was reclusive to the idea of incarnating again in Romania or in Dacia. But I did that out of my love for my people. So for all my critics, for Alex Molinaș and others who say that I don't deserve to be paid because I have done nothing, yes, I say yes. My work is not yet complete. As Hiram Abu said when he was working for 37 years to build the great temple of Jerusalem. He wanted to build a temple in the middle of Jerusalem where all the people of all religions shall meet and talk freely, like a new Tower of Babel. And he had some apprentices. And 3 of those apprentices took alphas and 1 apprentice, because there were different levels of apprentices, came to the master and asked him, Master, Grandmaster, we want to learn from you. Please tell us the great secret of your work, because we know that true art is stolen and not taught in schools. And the Grandmaster said, truly I say to you that I learn day by day how to build a great temple, and the gods are speaking into my mind. And so the apprentices said to themselves, well, the Grand Master does not want to reveal to us his great secrets, although we have worked for 37 years as slaves for him. So they get mad and killed him. And they buried him under an olive tree. That is why an olive branch is now the symbol of the Illuminati and the Templars. And they killed him by using 3 tools used by carpenters. A triangle used for measuring, a hammer used to put nails, and a compass used to measure circles, and also used to build the big boltas of the temple. And upon his death, they asked the Grand Master to reveal the final word of Hiram Abu, of his saying for building the temple, for finishing the temple. But unfortunately Hiram Abu died before whispering his last words. So that is why the Masons and the Freemasons, the Illuminati, the Templars, also the Brotherhood of Human Life, located here in Romania under the Phoenix, under their general headquarters is located under the Palace of the Parliament. It is actually a flying phoenix, a warbird, a Romulan warbird, a ship of war, a starship of war, which can carry 230 million people, if I remember correctly, because Ceausescu wanted to build a palace with 12 levels below the ground, following the model of Agartha. He was an Agarthans, and he wanted to put there in that ship 10 times more than the population of Romania. Population of Romania was 23 million at last in his dreams, and so he made rooms for 230 million people to be transported to the stars, and that is his legacy. So all these Illuminati are like schoolboys. They are still apprentices. They have degrees of Master, Grand Master, Grand Duke, Grand Chevalier, blah blah blah, but they are like apprentices looking for the last word of Hiram Abu. They speak about the New World Order. They speak about building the New World Order, uniting the tribes, the nations, whatever, the culture, the civilization, through the clash of civilization by Samuel Huntington, but they don't really know how to do this. I know. And I am doing this. So that is why, yes, pay me with however amount of money and virgin women and houses and palaces you wish, because my work is not yet done. But soon it will be done. Soon you shall see a united world. And this world cannot be united by secrecy. You have to reveal to the world all your secret technologies. You cannot retain yourself. You cannot say, these people are too immature to have an atomic laptop or a laser knife or flying saucers or to go to the stars. They cannot be trusted. Only we can be trusted, and our Stargate teams. We must keep the world in ignorance, but if you keep the world in ignorance and in the medieval ages, then you will not be able to unite them. Because uniting them requires knowledge, and knowledge requires passion. People get passionate if they see that their lives are improved. If their lives are not improved and they are kept in ignorance and as unwashed masses and manipulated by the TV, common folk, common people feel this and they will not participate in your project, and you need them. Despite your idea that you don't need them, here's my lesson to you. You need them. Goodbye.